Well, good morning, folks. It's me, Fraser. Welcome to another video. Today we're, as you know, with the theme, we're carrying on with our my little trip through India, and now we're in Nepal. We've been here for a couple of days now. We've done a few flights. We've done a flight up to Lukla, we've done the Everest Base Camp, and here we are back in Kathmandu. And we are going to be doing a very short little hop down to this place here, Bharatpur, which is where roughly I went. I went round here, so I'll go into world map. But we went round here somewhere. There's a really famous national park that straddles the border between India and Nepal. It's called Chitwan National Park, and it's a top place to visit. It's got all your usual, it's got your elephants, it's got rhinos, it's got the, which rhino was it that lives there? Yeah, it's got the Indian rhinoceros, which is found around that area. Quite a rare species of rhino, like they all are. But yeah, and they even got tigers around here. There's actually I found there's a reserve for tigers. So yeah, if you ever are in Nepal, you definitely need to come down here. In real life, I did a bus trip from Kathmandu, but it's a really beautiful spot. Lots of various different accommodations and whatnot. And yeah, it's got a river through there. Apparently there's crocodiles through the river too, so yeah, it's lots, if you're into your wildlife, something different. I mean, everyone associates Nepal with mountains, but it's also got quite a few different parks and greenery and forests, so yeah, there's no arrival into this airport, so we're just going to make it up, but we're going to attempt to do this nice complex SID in the ATR, which should handle it. So yeah, we're going to come down to this waypoint and then we'll come on in, and I think they'll just let us straight into runway 33. It's a very short runway too, so here we are, and an aircraft that they do use in real life, the Buddha Air, which is the aircraft I flew on. The Beech 1900D, which they use for the, I don't think they still have them, but they use that for the Himalayan mountain tour. They just flew along the Himalayas and did a return flight, which we did. Unfortunately, the weather was horrific, so we didn't see much. But anyway, here we are, cold and dark. What we will do is we'll open up all the doors, get the ground power turned on, and we'll go through and set up the flight plan for the haven't flown this much, the ATR 42, a very compact version of its larger sibling. Aircraft are taking off from this runway, but in real life they've only just, as we speak, they've just swapped the runways around us, so they're taking off from runway 02, so we'll do that. We'll disregard the traffic and we'll try and do this nice complex departure that basically, as all departures do, they sort of skirt around the edges of the basin that Kathmandu sits in. So anyway, we will get into the cockpit, get this powered up, and yeah, let's get into this. Right, get rid of these things. We can now turn on the engaged external power. Just come through here. Logo navigation lights can come on. We'll pretend we've all fueled up, so just arm all of these doors, and we will make it nice and bright. Perfect. Right, let's get into this FMS and let's program this thing up. So we'll do our flight plan. VNKT slash VNBP. It is BP, yep. And in true fashion, we're just using a random flight number, but we are using the real airline code, flight number. Execute, and we're going to depart from 02, and we're going to take the dark 1F. I wonder why there's no transition. I wonder where dark is. That's interesting. So I'll just go none, execute. Then we're going off to Nayak. And then direct to Danfi. And that's our flight plan, and we'll get rid of this discontinuity here so we can get a rough idea with our top of descent, that we don't have any form of SIDS for this airport, so it's just going to be a case of, and I just hope that one day they do revisit this aircraft, Asobo Hans. There are a few gaps in this little flight plan here, which is, they'll probably will appear as we get close to it, but it's just little things like that I don't know, just, and the bug by apparently there's a bug if you import the fuel and stuff like that, it doesn't work correctly with the fuel usage, and yeah, just they've redone the CRJ, so I really do hope that he returns to this aircraft and gives it the love that it definitely needs. Because it's such a short flight, we'll just be flying at the minimum altitude, so before you do anything, you need to, what we'll do is we'll add in, since we've got this here, we'll add in the fuel. I'm just going to keep it like that, a bit extra, but that's fine. What's our estimated takeoff weight is going to be 16.2. That's close enough, so we can now go into data init weight. So our fuel on board is currently 2310. And we're just going to minus our two, three, one. Oh. So our zero fuel weight apparently is going to be 13,809. So we'll see 13. Is it 809? Perfect, that matches up, and our reserve fuel we're going to be carrying a bit extra. So basically 1,000 kilograms of fuel extra, isn't it? Or is it 6? Yeah. Yeah, about 900, I think. Right, let's get out of this. And let's go through and get this thing set up. Confirm our takeoff data. Well, might as well while we're here. Set our trim to 2. Right, and now before you do the perf in it, we have to set our altitude first. So and just push B just to set our altimeters, but we're going to be, we'll make it 10,000 feet. I don't think we need to do any more than that. Make it 10.5. 10.5, done. Can now come through and shut the doors. What we will do is we'll turn on hotel mode, so we'll come up to, we'll turn on all of our fuel pumps. We'll go to start AMB. We can turn on our windscreen heaters. What else do we need to do? Beacon light can come on. Make sure you just push this little hydraulic pump thing just so we don't have any issues. Start that. And once it gets past 10, we can introduce fuel. We won't set our radios today, but we will set terrain, airport nav. Actually, we can set this to, yeah, we'll set it to auto. Right, that's our power into the aircraft coming from our prop, so we can now turn off our external power, remove the chocks, remove the external power, call up the pushback tug, and we can now beacon light is on, everything else is on. Yep, we can now start our pushback. Short little pushback. Can now turn on the next engine. The little baby ATR today, folks. That will do. Stop it there. Stop. Brake. Release the tug, and we can now engage our other engines. So hydraulic pump, just in case. Turn off the power. The prop brake. Select this to off, and we can now, once that guy disappears, we can set our condition levers to auto. I just want to see something. Right, those are set. Before takeoff, set our flaps. This is a little bug with the ATR. We get all these, like, I'm sure in real life that should disappear as soon as you engage these prop condition levers. What we will is we'll push that go around button, set our climb. So what we have to do is remove the gust lock, just give the engine just spool up. You can see that sort of rising a bit. All of those warning lights have come off, so we can now turn on these, turn on the TRU. This is just a little workaround bug. for that little issue, and we are basically all set for our departure. Well, taxi out. And we'll push the little takeoff config. That no warning sound means it's A-OK. I'm just going to go through and clear all these checklists because I know them all off by heart. And because it is quite a hot day, we will do packs off takeoff, just for that extra performance. While we're here, we can now, might be a good idea to come into this and turn on our transponder. This is just a freeware airport. It was a really good detailed freeware airport, but there is now a paid version on Flightsim.to, but yeah, this freeware version, as you can see, there's quite I think there's a lot of like taxiway issues because the planes are just going all around the random parts of the airport. While we remember, we'll turn off our packs. And we won't use the full runway today, we'll just we will just go to the end of this taxiway and we'll just take off on the end of the taxiway. This aircraft is, one thing we need to do, we need to come into our heading, select heading, nav, IAS and VNav, select our, engage our auto speed management thing. Very, very official terminology there. And when I finish my little trip, I've downloaded a few quite a few freeware airports around Nepal, so we will definitely do get the ATRs out and go for a wee hop and skip around Nepal. And of course this is Microsoft 2020 because it seems to be more stable and I mean, not so much stable, but I do have a lot of freeware add-ons for Nepal, and I don't think they've been updated yet for 2024. So what we will do is we'll just get ourselves ready now. We'll just remove the gust locks so we don't forget that. Done that many times. If you're getting to the end of the runway and you're wondering why it's not getting above 90, that would be your issue. That will be the reason. Turn on our strobe lights. Landing lights, and we're, as I said, it's going to take off from this junction here. Then you're offering for the ATR. And this is the annoying thing, it just doesn't seem to want to turn. Right folks, let's get cracking, eh? Definitely have to get the Logan Air livery out and do some flying around Scotland as well. And we're just going to engage autopilot and see if it can maintain this complex start, or SID I should say. But definitely your classic, typical, and that's a very famous Buddha statue there. Hindu or Buddha is a very famous statue right there in the heart of Kathmandu. Right, we are. See, this is just so messy, it's just frustrating, these little things here. Right, we're going to go to manual speed mode and just get it above this flaps setting so we can increase our flaps. Still in climb mode. Flaps can come up now. And we can now select this to climb. Turn on our engine bleeds, get that aircon coming into the cabin again. Well, it's sort of maintaining the start, it's just the SID, but it's just, yeah, it's just, these points just all are just sort of kind of all over the place. It's just untidy really, and it's not really keeping on track with that. Right, we'll turn off our landing lights and our taxi lights, and we're not going to set our altimeters, we're not high enough, so we'll just disregard that. And that's basically everything that we needed to do really for our takeoff. It's just all a matter of climbing now. Oh, one thing we forgot to do is we've got it 10,500 just to confirm that. Done. And we were going to go through here and change these. Oh, we can do that actually. We'll change that. Just a random number, just so it's... Actually, I might change it to 11 because I'm not going to set my altimeters. What's the destination? QNH is going to be 1014. Because here isn't going to be much. Oh, we'll put the wind in anyway. Now select our power management to cruise. And now enjoy the beautiful scenery of Bharatpur, Kathmandu down here in the murkiness, the mountain range just behind it, the famous Himalayas, and admiring the beautiful ATR 42, the short and stumpy ATR. And it's quite a nice colour, that hooded here, the gold and the blue. And we might put on our weather radar, just see what the weather's doing, if there is any weather. Not that will show it much. Maybe we should turn on our... do we need to turn on our engine anti-ice? Oh no, we are at 15 degrees now, that's fine. probably... there's no charts for the... nothing here for the airport, so I've got no idea how high it is, but... no idea what to do for that. I didn't realise I have all the charts, but I don't have the charts for this because for some reason there's no access to these charts. Actually, that's my... Okay, our aircraft has got landing elevation 600 feet, so we'll just give it a random altitude, just so we can get like a top of descent. So we'll just go, maybe make it 1600, 1000 feet above our so that will hopefully... I thought it'd give us a top of descent, so oh well. We'll just enjoy this beautiful views of the hills that surround Kathmandu. Speed it up just a little bit. I'll see if I can put in an altitude restriction in. Once we get past this, all here will start to descend. We'll just make it up as we go along. Just going to use a combination of manual, well, using the autopilot, but using manual sort of descent, using the VS button and the VS switch, vertical speed, and we'll probably go into heading mode, and we'll just sort of kind of vector ourselves in to this arrival. I might turn on our terrain radar too, just so we don't hit any unexpected mountains. Yeah, we'll turn on our landing lights, get everything all ready. Definitely coming into the lowlands of Nepal, which will then merge on into India. All of these rivers would have all been fed from the glaciers up in the Himalayas here. Definitely a very lush tropical part of the world. No sort of obvious terrain is showing up, so that's a good bonus. And this will hopefully set us up quite nicely for arrival onto runway 33, and it looks like a very, very short runway, so we'll probably need to use a bit of thrust reverse. But this aircraft is a very capable aircraft, so we won't have any issues with our runway. Setting 2000 will get us below this, I'll set it 2000 feet, hopefully that will get us below the, and we're just going to go through this and just clear all of these checklists. Hopefully this will get us below the clouds.
Terrain ahead. Terrain. Too low terrain. Too low terrain.
Looking forward to exploring this in the helicopter and like some other things really cool, and maybe see if we can find any animals. Not that I'll probably have any animals in here, but
Too low terrain.
Definitely will do that though.
Too low terrain. 500. Too low terrain. Too low terrain. Too low terrain.
Alright, we'll start preparing for our landing now. We're not
terrain.
too far from the airport.
Too low terrain.
About 15 nautical miles away, so we can start peeling back that speed a bit and getting ready for deploying the flaps. And we'll do a quick little turnaround and we'll head on back to Kathmandu for our return flight. I think it's short enough flight that we can do it in just one video, so we'll do that. Right, we can now set our flaps. A bit too fast, but that's okay. might go into heading mode and just manually sort of vector ourselves in just a bit more. I think we are. Yeah, this is all lowland Nepal, all of these floodplains, grasslands. This area I can actually be very rich when it comes to produce, growing different vegetables and fruits and livestock, all fed by this nutrient-rich glacial water. And over here somewhere, which we'll do in 2024, we'll go explore Chitwan National Park and see what it's like in the game. We might as well just set these all so we don't forget, set those to full, set this to take off for if we need it. I think in real life they're probably the pilots, I mean they'll be vectored in anyway, so we're just using navigraphs for our vectoring. But I can imagine in real life too, pilots will probably like fly over the airport first and then circle in to land into the corresponding runway. And we do have one more notch of flaps, so we'll go full flaps for this landing. We do want to be as slow as possible. Engage the autopilot now and just line ourselves up for the runway. Turn off the yaw dampers too.
$500. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And we made it. There was a pretty severe crosswind there, but we made it. We can now select auto for the flight engine conditioners. Flaps can come up, landing lights can come off. We'll just go through this and just clear all of these items. Now shut down engine, or feather engine number 1 first. And we'll turn on our gust lock. And we'll shut it down completely. Taxi lights, strobe lights can come off. Pull up over here and we'll get passengers out. And that will do us right here just perfectly. And we're just going to leave it on hotel mode while we do our turnaround. And we'll pause it there and we'll get our return flight back to Kathmandu sorted out. I've watched lots of videos though, and I've seen aircraft ATRs do single engine taxis and doing tight turns, but for some reason it won't happen on this, so that's why we've just left it like that. But yeah, we'll get ourselves set up and we'll just pause this video and we'll do our return flight back to Kathmandu. So folks, we've got our flight plans set up and we're going to be landing on runway 02. Attempting to do runway 20, but we'll do what the aircraft are doing in real life, and the arrival looks quite nice and complex as well, so let's see how this works. Actually, you know what, we'll do runway 20A. We'll see how the ATR performs with a complex complex star arrival, so we'll give that a go. But first things first is we'll set up our flight plan, and we're coming at 12,000. We've travelled at 12,000 feet for this flight, so we'll set out 12,000 feet. Like so. View our flight plan. Go to data and we'll just do this again. We'll just select our position in it. Go to nav data. Already done that. Go to flight plan, route, VKVN. VP/VN KT. Execute. See if this. Yeah, we're going to take off on runway 33. Execute. Return. And we'll fill in our flight plan. We're basically just going to go direct to the star, so we will. Oh, well, before we do that, we'll just do our payload. So we'll go back into here. "39 passengers for our return flight. We've got 2 tons of fuel, so more than enough. Estimated takeoff weight is going to be 17, so we'll drag that out to we'll make it an S. That's perfect. That's close enough. So I'll go into our data init. We'll do the perf init because it's got a sort of a semi-flow, so 12. Weight. We've got 2064 fuel. And 16708 takeaway. 2064 gives us 14644. 14644. And that adds up nice and perfectly. And our reserve fuel is going to be, I'll just leave it at that. I know 300 tons, 400 ton, 300 kgs, 390 kgs, and that is our weights all done. Right, we'll go to our flight plan now, return, go to our return, go to our route, and we're basically just going to go direct to our first star arrival, and we are going to change that. We're going to use a this is just no, that's we're going to change that to runway 20 because I think that's what the aircraft are doing in the sim anyway. Oh, this one seems logical, so we'll use that one. Don't need a star because stars start all the way quite far out. Actually, we'll just see what stars there are, rivals there are. none really match up with what we're doing, so we'll just leave it at that. Right, enter now nav Zulu. No, it's just RNAV 20. We're not going to do a star, but we're going to do via DANF. Execute. Clear that discontinuity there. Execute. So that's basically our flight plan all set up. We'll just go to our performance page. What is our... We're just going to set this all up because it's going to not be a long flight at all. What am I looking for? Trans altitude is 13500, which won't affect us because we won't be going that high. Wind. QNH 290/0. Just give it a gust of 10 and 10-14. That looks pretty good, folks. We will now get ready to take off, eh? Go back to our flight plan page. That's set. Right, everything. We've got our heading set, ready for our departure. We'll just go through this final cockpit preparation. And because everything was working when I set that, you know, the init, the GPS sort of page thing, we should be able to go to our takeoff data, reset our fuel, and confirm. So that's a good sign that our turnaround bug isn't in the game in this flight, so that's perfect. That's all set. Right, we'll start our startup now. We'll get rid of the passenger sign, the cargo doors. Got to turn off the beacon light, but that doesn't matter. Turn on our fuel pump. Right, folks, let's get ready to power this plane up. Basically release the prop brake now. And we'll just turn on our pitos, turn on this, TRU. The engine is pretty much finished starting up, so we'll just go back to our nav mode and select this to off. Taxi lights can come on. Put a bit of throttle in, flaps can come down. And select these to auto. No warning, so that's good. And we are basically, we're just going to turn on everything. Packs can come on, off. I mean, we're going to do packs off takeoff, and we can now release the shocks. We're just going to go through these checklists just to clear them. when you know what they are and you've sort of all pre-done it, it's pretty repetitive really, pretty self-explanatory. Right, we'll go to heading mode, nav, IAS, indicated airspeed, and select, turn on our VNav. And we'll just minimize that. And we'll get rid of our gust lock too. We're going to be in control of the aircraft now. And we will come back here with 2024 and we'll do a little tour around Chitwan National Park. Just, it's more for me really, but you guys will be coming along if so choose. Just using differential braking just to spin it around. Right. We'll just put the brakes on a bit, go not full throttle, just to that flight mode that you have it on. We'll push our go around. Right, let's get going folks. Return flight back to Kathmandu. Shall we? Let the pilot do it all for us. Now we'll go flaps up now. Which way is it going to turn for this tight turn? Into climb mode, gear up, flaps up, turn on our packs. That's set to, we're not going to worry about the alternatives, we might as well leave our taxi lights, landing lights on because we'll go into speed up mode and we'll just go through this as fast as possible. quite spectacular. You'll get a lot more detail. What we will do is we'll set our decision, our MDA, our decision altitude, so that's going to be 46.95. While we do that, we'll just select that to cruise. We're pretty much at our cruise altitude as we're scrolling on through. Might as well round it up to I'll round it down to 940. I'll make it, we'll play it safe, 4,700 feet. Right, to get our top of descent, we might need to fudge some numbers up here. So we're going to change this constraint to hopefully that will bring up the top of descent some here. For some reason the top of descent thing's not working, which is just one of those things that just lets this plane down. Like if you in the ATR 72, you're able to alter that, but for some reason it's just frustrating. It is really frustrating when these different things just won't work. And as a result, I can't get a top descent. I can't get the this VNAV to work, which is just really annoying, really. I'm sure you used to be able to do it. I'm sure, like, maybe it's just the ATR 72 that we can do it in, but nothing seems to, like, there's altitude constraints. We're not flying at that like that. It's just really, really annoying. It's a shame, guys. I was going to do a VNAV approach into the air and I would have followed, but I don't know why this is happening. Why is there no top of descent coming through here? There are times it's just like a really weird relationship with the ATR. Sometimes you just have such a great time with it. Things do work, but other times it really does not want to play ball with anything. Oh, so now that's got that altitude cross there, so what's going on? What? Going to have to reduce the altitude and just, it's just... Don't know why it's climbing like that, got no idea. Absolutely no idea what's going on. It's just a real shame, eh, with these bugs. It could be a really good aircraft, but I just get the feeling that they don't really care. We're going to try VNav now, see if that's working any better. Alright, we're just going to set our final fix approach to 74, which is almost there, in a couple of 100 feet. Just going to speed this up a bit. Hopefully we'll start following this a bit better this time. We'll see how it goes. Seems to be sort of sorting itself out, so that's a good sign. And we're just going to arm all of these because we know what we're doing. Just clear that checklist. Looks like it's getting back on track, so that's good. And we'll set our is their last waypoint. We'll set our final approach to our minimums, which is 40 knot 47. I'll go around if we need to go around. It is 10.5, so I'll go 10.5 is our go around. Right, we'll see how this goes, folks. Get our speed just to below 165. Basically, we'll get ourselves fully configured for landing. We'll just land with flaps 25 for this one. It's a nice long runway, so we don't need full flaps. And yeah, this is, I'll do another video with the ATR, but when you're doing this, don't, I don't know if in real life, but you do click that approach mode and it'll just follow this round, but then you get that annoying V path, that V, whatever it is, error button, that display thing that will never clear itself. So I found now I just stay in, what I do when I'm doing these RMP approaches, I just, I don't touch it, I just let V path do its thing.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain
which
ahead.
You'll see soon when I
Terrain ahead.
you'll see it in action soon when we come into land, when we get below our final approach fix. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spin this up to our go around altitude. And then I'm just going to push feed path again. So in theory it should now just follow V path and it will go to our, get us down to our like minimums in theory. By the looks of it, it's sort of following the V path, so that's a little workaround for that bug, so you don't push approach, you just, there are two ways of doing it. You either just set your altitude to your minimums and then just keep it at that, or option 2 is like I did. If you want to set your go around thing, you just scroll up past, once you get below your final approach fix, you just scroll it back up to your go around, and then you just have to push VNav again just to get it back onto the VNav profile. Select these to take off before we forget. Select these to full. And I think we will do full flaps. So it's sort of so I don't think there's a way to set, if you want to do your performance, I don't think. Oh cool, we can actually set our, so we're going to set flaps 25 for our landing. Gives us a faster landing speed. Or the other trick is to set it to your final approach fix, and then once you hit your final approach fix, then you can like scroll it up to your go around, and then just make sure you keep it in VNAV path, and it'll just follow your VNAV path for your descent, for your approach. So yeah, just a little workaround there, folks, for flying these RMP approaches and not getting stuck with that little error, that little VPF, whatever it is, advisory thing that comes up here, which doesn't clear itself. Our runway should come into sight very soon, folks, and there it is. A bit off, isn't it?
500, sink rate. Approaching minimum. Sink rate. Minimum. Minimum.
It is the ATR, so what you expect. It's a bit, mind you, there is a strong crosswind, so give that the benefit of the doubt.
200.
Disregard that aircraft that's taking off.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Very strong. Very strong crosswind there, folks, but we've made it. Now we're just going to take this. This exit here. Made it back in Kathmandu, folks. We'll park up, and that would be us. That would be the end of that flight, and our next flight will be the helicopter flight. We'll do it to around. We'll do it to around Chitwan National Park with the helicopter. What we'll do is we'll do another single engine taxi again, so we'll just set that to 5 feather, select your gust locks, go through and clear all these errors. Not errors, go through the checklist. What else are we going to do? Oh yeah, we're going to turn off our... But yeah, our next flight, folks, we'll do a flight with, get the helicopter out, explore Chitwan National Park, and we will do a return flight to Delhi with one of those 2 new Airbuses that I've got, and then yeah, it's basically we'll do a short little, just a flight to Koh Samui when we get to Thailand. Just look around, folks. What we will do now is we'll shut down that engine. We can now turn off the fuel pump for that. And yeah, we'll do a little flight to Koh Samui. We'll do 2 flights. We'll do a return flight each in the 19 and the A319 and the ATR, which are both flights that they do in real life. In real life, I took the bus down there because that flight is very expensive. And then after that, we'll do our return flight, end of our trip back to New Zealand. I hope you guys enjoy my content. I'm not a pilot. Hopefully one day I will become a pilot. But I just explain things in simple layman's terms. Right, I'm going to try and attempt this turn. it. Alright, so maybe it's just technically single engine taxi. Oh, I just used the differential brake here. Right, that will do for us. We can now shut this one off. Turn on our prop brake. And we can now turn off all these devices. Beacon light can now come off, and can engage all of these now. Now that we've got AC power, we can now select that up here, and we can now shut off the engine. Now make sure, folks, when you are doing a turnaround flight, my recommendation is just keeping it on this page here. When you start seeing that drop, make sure you turn on power or something, because once you run out of batteries, that's your flight. If you weren't going to end your flight, you will be after that drops down below. So that's just an annoying bug, but it looks like it's going to not drop power by the looks of things. I don't know what the warning signs are, but yeah, nah. Anyway, folks, we'll leave it at that, and we'll do a helicopter flight to around Chitwan National Park, and then we'll be heading back to New Zealand. But we will come back to Nepal because I've got a few really cool freeware downloads that I have, and we'll do some exploring around there for the ATRs and the Dash 6s, the Trotters I should say. A Dash 6 always de Havilland Dash 6, but yeah. Anyway, folks, we'll see you in the next video, and you guys take care, and we'll see you again shortly. Ta-da.